Wish TV is focused on family and the community and is committed to sharing the stories of those who are making a difference every day. From the All Indiana Podcast Network and Wish TV, this is Behind the Eight Podcast.
Cody Adams here. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for listening to Behind the Eight Podcast. This episode is very special. I'm getting ready to chat with Marlee Thomas. She's our lifestyle reporter here at Wish TV. You see her on All Indiana and Life.Style.Live, of course. But in our conversation, which was recorded about a month or so ago, there's a portion where we actually talk about her grandmother, who has had a major impact on her life, Mary Rancifer, and she celebrated 112 years just before Christmas. But then just a few days after us recording this podcast, she actually passed away. Lived an amazing life, and you're going to hear some of the stories about Grandma Mary here in just a little bit. But we want to dedicate this episode of Behind the Eight to Miss Mary Rancifer, and hope you enjoy this conversation.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
Welcome to another episode of Behind the Eight. It's an opportunity for you guys to get to know some of the people that work here at the station, on air, off air, all the above, behind the scenes, whatever. I'm your host, Cody Adams. You see me whenever you tune in, 4 o'clock, 10 a.m. on Lifestyle Live, noon Lifestyle Live, and today we have as my guest one of my favorite new employees, Miss Marlee Thomas. Thanks for being here,
Cody. That's probably like the nicest thing you've ever said to me right there.
Yeah, don't get used to it. That's going to be the extent of it. So for anyone who doesn't know, Marlee is our lifestyle reporter, for the lack of a better title. So she's out and about in all kinds of different places, reporting for the Lifestyle Live shows, for All Indiana, anywhere else they decide to use you and do all kinds of other things. But really an opportunity for you to go out and see some of the things and show some of the places that people may not get to, restaurants and venues and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's brought a different element to the show. So, like, I grew up in Kokomo. So, I've lived in Indiana my whole life. I grew up watching Wish TV. I interned with Lifestyle Live, which at that time it was indie style. But so for me, I've watched the show. So it's always been a dream of mine, literally a dream of mine, to be able to be a part of this show. But I always felt like it was missing something because everything was so in studio based. And I was like, how do we get out and show those restaurants and those bars and different venues and stuff? And so when this job became available, I was like, I have to try my best to be able to get that job. And, I started early December, and I feel like things have just been going so well. Like, when you love a job so much, and people have always told me, like, when you love it so much, it's not even going to feel like work. Like that, I feel that. Like, it's so fun. I love it. And I think it's just added a different element to the show to be able to go out in the community.
Well, what's that been like for you so far? Because you've done a lot of the tail work on finding these stories, finding the places, finding the things to go do. Even before we did this, you were out shooting something for future shows. Yeah. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into that for 3 to 4 minute segments that people will see.
I think that that's a great point to bring up because I think a lot of our viewers don't know that and they don't see that side. Over half of my day is spent at my desk typing out emails and doing research and stuff. And I feel like I'm always on my phone too, because I find a lot of my story ideas on Facebook and on Instagram and even on Twitter too. So for me, I'm always doing a lot of things on my computer or on my phone to try to find those story ideas, reaching out to businesses and stuff. So it's a lot of behind the scenes work too, to be able to get everything set up. And I do think it helps with me, being born and raised here in Indiana and living here my entire life, because I'm familiar with the area, but also now that I'm working here, I'm learning how many local businesses there are. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so blown away. Like, Indy is its own little community and town. It's so cool.
Well, I'm glad you brought up, excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm glad you brought up the fact that you are a Hoosier and that you grew up watching the station, because I too grew up watching Wish TV, and there are a lot of journalists out there who have known and heard the call letters of Wish TV for a long time, and the reputation it has as a leader in the news world. And growing up and watching some of the people that have been on this network for so long is such a cool opportunity. But then coming here and working, I think people don't necessarily understand what that feels like when you're working in a place that you grew up watching.
Yeah, like Patty, when I came in and I met Patty, and Patty gave me a big hug and acted like she has known me her entire life. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I grew up watching Patty, and like now Patty and I text, and it's like I look up to her and I admire her, especially just being a woman in this industry too. I'm sure she had to go through a lot to be able to achieve everything that she went through. So it's just really cool to have like met her and to have become such great friends with her. And same thing with like Randy Ollis too. You know, like when I interned here, he was still working here at the time. And I remember I went up to him and I was like, can I get my picture with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he was so great, but I was like totally fangirling.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I am being that annoying intern who's like having to go around and get a picture with everybody, but I grew up watching them.
I think they get used to that.
Yeah.
I think that concept, it doesn't get lost in them, especially for people like that, Dave Barris, like the legends who are here for so long.
Yeah.
They get accustomed to the fact that people like you and myself may come back here and work eventually and get to be in their presence in that. Beyond work, let's talk about Marlee Thomas outside of these building walls. What is Marlee like doing?
Yeah. So I am actually a country girl. And it's kind of funny because when you watch the show, you know, you see this like just you know, like I've got my dress clothes on and my hair's all curled. I got my makeup on and stuff. But like I am very much like jeans, cowgirl boots, Carhartt. Like that's just kind of how I grew up. My family has a couple acres over in Kokomo. I grew up with horses. I still have my horse. I've had her for I'd say probably about 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I grew up riding, did some shows and stuff like that. So for me, it's always so cool to tell people that, because they are like, wait, what? You have horses? Like, and I'm like, yeah, like being outside is my favorite thing to do. I actually get really stir crazy living in an apartment because I'm like, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I have to be outside. I have to be doing something. So for me, just very outdoorsy. I grew up camping and, like I said, riding my horses. Family is also really important to me too. So I've got 2 young nephews, Tate and Trip,
who are quite literally like Trip is perfect for his name because he is quite the trip.
He is a crazy man, but you know that's also a big reason of like why I wanted to stay in Indiana, is because I don't know if it's just how my parents raised me to just really know where you came from. Like, you know, always be thankful for the journey that got you where you are today.
Yeah.
So, and for me, that's family. Like I went through a lot, you know, growing up and stuff, and I really leaned on my family to help me through a lot of hard times. So for me, I love being able to still have a great relationship with them and go back and visit them. And, you know, they're just really special to me.
I'm glad you brought up the journey as well, because your journey is very fun in the sense that you are a Ball Stater. We have a lot of chirps here in the building and across the country. I mean, obviously, the history and reputation of that journalism school is well known across the country. But beyond that, you came here from WLFI in Lafayette, where you spent several years, right?
Yeah, I spent, it was almost 5 years.
Wow.
So I was on the morning show for 3 years, and I anchored that. And then I switched over to evenings, and I did the 5, 6, 10, and 11 there. So for me, you know, it was very, like, I liked the news industry, but I always knew it wasn't something I wanted to stay in. Lifestyle for me was like right up my alley. So I was just kind of hoping that the right job would come along, and it did, obviously. But, you know, news just wasn't, I'm not into the hard news side of things. So for me, also morning hours. I was like, no, thank you. Like getting up and going to work I think my alarm went off at like 1:30 in the morning. I know you said ridiculous. That you loved mornings.
I love the morning shift. If I could go back, if I could do this job on a morning shift, morning schedule, I'd do it in a heartbeat because I loved being done at noon every day.
I know, but like, I don't know if it's just because everybody's bodies are different, but like my body did not adjust to that schedule at all. Like I would try to go home and nap, or I would try to just stay up and go to bed early. Like I tried all these different things and I just couldn't get it. And I was like, you know what? I'm over this. Like, let me knock out my contract. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, it worked out well for us because you're here now. What's that shift been like? Because I think sometimes it gets lost on people as well, viewers. Like the idea that you can just switch from hard news to lifestyle isn't an easy thing to do. There's a process to that and because a lot of times within news and the realm of news, there's like a box that you kind of get pushed into, a level of professionalism that you have to reach on some of those things. And lifestyle, you can kind of get outside that box a little bit.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm definitely learning, and I appreciate you and all your advice that you've given me, because like for me, it was hard to make that transition, especially going from an evening news anchor where you're doing, their primetime shows at 5 and 6. Like there's little to no personality that you can show on those shows, and very strictly about like reading the teleprompter and stuff like that. So for me, like I said earlier, that was always something I didn't necessarily have a passion for. So I knew I wanted to change, but switching was like a total mind shift, because you're right, you can kind of reach outside the box a little bit and do fun things like taking a drink of cocktails on air.
Yes.
It's like, what, like that's so fun, and trying food and just doing all this fun stuff.
It's funny too because Felicia, my co-host for both those shows, the first time she came in here, she was like, are we allowed to like drink? And I go, well, I mean, we're not trying to get sloshed on air, but like, yeah, that's what your job is.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to grasp the idea that your job is literally to eat and drink and hang out and be merry and happy.
Yeah, your job is to have fun. Like the viewers and, all of us, like we want to have fun and show that we're having fun on air. And so that's just like different, but I love it so much. And like I said earlier, like it just doesn't even feel like work, because I love all of you guys that I work with in the lifestyle department. I love our show. Like it's something I grew up watching. So it literally has been a dream opportunity for me.
Outside of this work, you also do a lot of stuff with Purdue basketball, which we would be remiss if we didn't talk about, because we got a lot of Boilermaker fans out there, obviously, and a lot of people who go to the games. Friends of mine reached out and they're like, wait, Marlee Thomas works with you now? And I'm like, So what's that like?
Yeah, she does. No.
She's kind of the worst.
So I have hosted the Purdue men's basketball games in Mackey Arena. This is my 4th season doing that. Only a couple games left in Mackey for the season. I think there's 2 or 3 left. But, it's been so fun. And everybody always assumes that they'll see you on TV. Like when you say that you're hosting the games, they're like, oh, wait, we'll watch the game. We'll see if we can see you. And I'm like, no. What it is like during media timeouts or coaches calls or whatever it is, I will have fans come down and we'll do, different interactive games, whether it's a shooting contest or we had like a ice cream sundae eating contest, a shrimp cocktail eating contest, like all these just fun things to keep the fans interacted and just having fun. So when they say Mackey Arena is like the best atmosphere in college basketball, absolutely. Like, yes, I'm probably biased.
You're going to have some Assembly Hall folks really upset.
I'm sorry. But I will say, like, just every single time that somebody goes to Mackey and they haven't been there before either, they're like, holy cow, like this is insane. And it is, like every single game, it's like that. Yeah. It's so fun.
No matter who they're playing, whether they're playing Michigan or playing Indiana State.
Even when students aren't there, like even on a, winter break or whatever, I mean, that place is, you walk out there and your ears are ringing. Yeah. And you're like, I don't even care because I just had the best time of my life.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure over the last few years when you were working in West Lafayette, people probably knew you obviously from the airwaves there, and then obviously hosting the games. Has that bled over at all with you being on Wish TV now, and people being like, "Oh my gosh, I've seen you on Wish TV now too"?
Yeah. And I will definitely say, like, I'm very thankful for all of my viewers over in West Lafayette and Tippecanoe County, because they have been so loyal. They are like, "Oh yeah, we watch you down at Wish now," and all the people stop me at games and they'll be like, "Oh, what time are you on again?" Because it's a shift going from night side now to day side, working like a 9 to 5. And so they're like, okay, well, if I'm at work, I'm going to make sure I set my DVR. And like, I appreciate that so much, because that was one thing that really worried me was, moving to a different city and starting a new job here. It's like, okay, well, I still want to make sure I keep those connections in Tippecanoe County.
Sure.
But also, build new ones here in Indy as well, too.
Yeah. Okay, a little off the wall. I'm going to put you on the spot here. What is something about Marlee Thomas that people don't know that would be interesting to people out there? I know it's hard.
Well, I mean, I would say, like, this is always a fun fact that I tell people. My great-grandma, she's 112.
Yes.
So she was born the year the Titanic sank.
That is wild.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's just so crazy. So, and she's, like, one of my, like, I'm very close with her. Like, I really am.
Yeah.
So she's really special to me. But as far as like a fun fact about myself personally, I don't like peanut butter.
Really?
Yeah, kind of weird, but I don't like peanut butter.
I don't either.
You don't either?
Mm-mm.
I think you might be the...
Yeah.
This is like the first time I've met somebody
No,
else
a lot
who
of people
doesn't
are always
like
sort of
peanut
like, you don't like peanut butter? How do you not like peanut? I've never liked it.
Yeah. Well, also too, you kind of mentioned it earlier. Like I went to Ball State. A lot of people just assume that I graduated from Purdue.
Yeah,
since
because
I host
you're
the games. Yeah. So I guess that would be another fun fact. Is like I just went to Ball State, and that surprises people sometimes because they're like, "Oh, I just assumed you went to Purdue," and obviously I'm a Boilermaker fan, and I want them to win all the time. So
even if they play Ball State.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do. I do. Yeah, I do. But no, I just feel like for me, I keep it pretty simple. Like I am very close with my family, friends, and I'm having my dream job right now. So life is good. Yeah. Life is real good.
Well, we are so glad that you are here with us, and we look forward to many, many years of doing this. And you're a blast to hang out in the office with. At some point, I'm going to turn the camera on in the office and let people just get some of the happenings that go on in there, because it gets pretty wild and crazy, and we have a lot of fun.
Well,
and you've been a blast so far.
Well, thank you, Cody. And if there was a camera in the office, you would see me rolling my eyes half the time at what Cody and our producer Peter are doing. But no, I appreciate you. You've welcomed me with open arms. And literally any time that I have questions or anything, like I always go to you, because I know you're going to give me honest feedback.
Yep.
But it's also going to be like coming from the heart, and that means a lot. So thank you.
I'm glad. Anytime. If you want to catch Marlee and any of the work that she's doing, of course, you can see her Lifestyle Live at 10 a.m., Lifestyle Live at noon, All Indiana at 4 p.m., wishtv.com, lifestylelive.tv.com, lifestylelive.tv, allindiana.tv. Just Google her. You'll find her. Marlee, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Cody.
Chat with you later.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Behind the Eight Podcast. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And connect for even more on Facebook and at wishtv.com.